Phil, we're recording this. I'm Tamila, I'm the Director of Marketing here, and we're really excited to launch our first ever product release webinar. Yay, clapping hands. Virtual clapping hands. Here we have Phil Gordon, our awesome CEO, and Brenna, our success manager. And we're covering deliverability checks and smart links, so your messages get delivered. But before we jump in, just a quick housekeeping. So we'll have all the questions. You can have any conversations on the side of the chat, but we will be answering questions after the presentation. We have a demo and a couple slides. And if you have any specific questions towards our team, we are happy to answer them as well at the end. So without further ado, welcome to our first product release webinar.
Thanks, Tamila. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Gordon. I'm the founder and CEO of Prompt.io. I live here in lovely Seattle. I've been with Prompt since its beginning, 7.5 years or so. And before that, fun fact, I used to be a professional poker player and host a bunch of the television shows like Bravo's Celebrity Poker Showdown and a bunch of stuff on ESPN and stuff. But now I'm running a tech software company and not playing poker. As my kids like to tease me, I am formerly famous. So thank you all for joining. Really excited for this product release. We've been working really hard on it. And also joining me today is my colleague, Brenna Culley.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Phil. My name is Brenna. I am one of the success managers here at Prompt.io. However, at heart, I am a digital organizer. I've spent the last few years working with a bunch of different campaigns, primarily in digital organizing and texting. I've worked from everything from a state house race up to a presidential primary. I've also had the chance to run texting programs for nonprofits and advocacy organizations around the country. So I'm very familiar with what y'all are doing, running texting programs on a daily basis. I'm excited to be a member of the team, helping you all, being a partner to ensure that you have the most successful time running these programs. So just to do housekeeping once more, because a couple more people joined us, please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat. We would love to get to know you. You just met Phil and I and Tamila. We'd like to know who's here as well. So let us know your name, organization, location, and if you want a fun fact as well. And then throughout the webinar, if you do have any questions, please feel free to use either the Q&A function or the chat function. We will have a Q&A portion at the end of our presentation, and we want to get everybody's questions answered that we can. So with that, let's go ahead and cover the agenda for today. So the first thing we're going to do is do an overview of messaging best practices. We're going to talk about our two new features, the smart links and deliverability checks, that are going to help you have a more successful program. Phil's going to go ahead and go through a demo of these new features so you're set up for success using them. And then we're going to give you a little sneak peek at what's coming for our next major release. And then finally, we'll close out by answering all the questions that you have about these features. So I'll kick it back over to Phil.
Thanks, Brenna. Yeah, so we've been around since 2014, as mentioned. We are a texting platform for political advocacy, nonprofit, and commercial organizations. We are happily and decidedly nonpartisan. Our headquarters are in Seattle, but we've got people everywhere. Tamila there is in Austin, Texas. We've got, let's see, Portland, London, Paris, North Carolina. I'm a bunch of people in Victoria, Canada. So people everywhere. And our platform provides A2P and P2P texting capabilities across short code, toll-free, and 10DLC. And no matter which of those three modalities you're using, the features that we're launching today will help your texting remarkably.
All right, so we're going to go over a couple of frequently asked questions which inspired one of our new features today. These questions pop up all the time. Texting, or the deliverability world of texting, what the carriers are blocking has kind of been a black box. I know from my own personal experience, I spent countless hours on the phone with other texting organizers trying to figure out how to get our message delivered. What kind of links are they blocking? So general questions are, how do I get more message delivered? My messages are very long. How do SMS segments work? What carrier or what do carriers decide to block? And should I be personalizing these different broadcast texts? So I've had hours of these conversations, and I wish that these were out for everybody when I was running my own programs, but we're going to go over a couple of messaging best practices, and then we're going to talk about our deliverability check feature. So on this checklist, you'll notice there's a couple different colors on the left-hand side. Yellow are some, you might want to address this. Red is, oh, if you use this, you're going to get blocked. And then a helpful suggestion at the bottom. So some best practices for you all is to personalize your outgoing text whenever possible. So including a first name or something along those lines when you're sending out that message is going to help you. This ties into the next point, but that you want to be ensuring that the targeted contacts also have that valid field merge data. So if you are customizing these messages, however, half of your data set doesn't have that piece, it's going to get a little bit wonky. You want to avoid shaft content because that is going to get blocked. There's also a bunch of keywords that carriers are filtering that you're going to want to avoid as well. When you're sending MMS files, if it's too big, it will not go through. If you are using links, I know people love parameterization because you get more data. However, when you use one of these, you're more likely to get blocked because it takes a bunch of characters. And then also it can lead to a link not being clickable. If that link spreads over 2 segments and it is separated by the carrier, you lose the back half of your link, and then it's no longer going to be doing what you're wanting it to be doing. When you are sending using link shorteners, if you're using one of these public link shorteners, it is very likely your message will get blocked. And when you're sending long messages, not only do you run into issues with deliverability, but people, when they get a novel on their phone, are less likely to respond and interact with your message. When you're sending emojis, you want to keep in mind that this is going to decrease the amount of characters you can use in a segment. So your messages have to be even shorter. And then finally, a helpful suggestion of using opt-out language in your initial messages. The carriers love it. The people receiving your messages love it. And it makes it more likely that your messages will actually be delivered. So there are really positive effects when you do use personalization. You'll see these 2 messages side by side are basically the same, except for the second one includes Phil's first name. When you send out one of these personalized messages, you're going to experience about a 63% increase in your response rate and a 1% decrease in your opt-out rate. So just using a simple first name is going to make your text even more effective.
Yeah, and on that same point, Brenna, that stat we pulled from our database, we ran a query of all of the texts that have ever been sent on our platform with personalization without in order to get this stat, and that represents tens of millions of messages. So it really is important to do that field merge. SMS segment length is very complicated, as you can see. So messages are typically, short messages less than 160 characters are 1 segment. If you do include the emoji, I know a lot of the digital organizers love that emoji, your segment count will be reduced remarkably down to 70 slots. So each character, normal character is 1 slot, but each emoji is 2 slots. I know it's a little complicated. If a message goes over 160 characters, then the segment count drops to 153 characters per segment. And if you're using emoji plus a long message, then you're going to have 67 slots per. So a lot of people ask questions about this. As you can see in the platform, we've done a good job, I think, of telling you how many segments each message takes. And then in the deliverability check that we'll show you later, you'll see that there are warnings about this sort of stuff, and it'll show you the characters that are causing the segment links to explode in some instances. And it's not just emojis, there are other special characters that cause the same kind of issue. So we have, in order to address some of these concerns and answer some of these questions, we are pleased to present and launch today Broadcast Deliverability Check. And I'll give you a demo of this later, but this is essentially how it comes across. When you're composing a broadcast message, the system will be analyzing the message in real time. We're going to flag potential issues for you. As you can see, the yellow here means that it's may lead to carrier blocking or filtering. The red means we definitely would not recommend that you perform, that you go through with this message, because it has aggressive content or one of the other things is definitely going to get it blocked. Really what you're looking for here when you're composing these messages is all green. When you get to all green, you're good to go. However, it's important to note that we will not stop you from sending a text if some of your deliverability checks are yellow or even red. Ultimately, your messages are up to you, but we wanted to make sure that everyone that's sending broadcasts here understands the landscape and has an automated solution that potentially leads to much higher deliverability. This is a great feature.
Awesome. So that was our deliverability check. And now we're going to talk a little bit about smart links. So some more questions that we tend to get is, can I use a bit.ly link? And if I'm using one, why are these messages getting blocked? How can I track how many people are clicking the links that I sent? And if I send people my donation page, can the form be pre-filled? And smart links are going to address these different questions. So why use a smart link? First and foremost, from a compliance standpoint, the CTIA guidelines say that organizations should avoid using these public link shorteners. They're often blocked because these kinds of link shorteners are used by scammers via text message, so the carriers are just not going to send them out to their clients. Also, from an attribution standpoint, when you send a link, you get to know exactly who clicked it, and you get more information that you're able to track from that. And then finally, the customer experience is better. You're able to use a link parameterization, which Phil's going to cover in just a moment, that's going to improve your customer's experience. And also, customers are more likely to click on a link that seems credible to them, that seems like it's coming from your actual organization.
Yeah, and so, you know, to answer these questions and to get our customers the very, very best possible experience here, we have spent a lot of time building this smart link feature. And a lot of the other platforms have table stakes, so you know, the ability to select from multiple top-level domains or centralized management configuration and trackable at an individual customer level. But you know, I told you I was a poker player, and poker players like to do one thing, and that's raise. So we've raised the stakes here. Our smart link feature does full support for field merge and parameterization on redirect. We have really advanced click action configuration that no one else in the industry has. You can send these smart links not only from a broadcast, but also from your macros and library functions via API or even directly in a conversation. All the clicks are robust and exportable real-time analytics. We even offer a customized preview text and image for phones that support it. You can edit the link post-creation, and we'll even support custom domains or use of the domain from your own website. So these are all the ways that we have taken this feature and really raised the stakes with it in order to provide something really special.
And so as Phil said, we provide some top-level domains to you all to start, and then there is the option of getting a custom one for your organization. And if you're a large organization, we'd absolutely recommend doing this because it's going to build more confidence with the base that you're communicating with. And we can talk about that a little bit more as later, and then with your support team. But we provide a few different packages to you all. So we have our left-leaning links that are going to seem a little bit more left-leaning. We have our generic links, and then we have a right package of right-leaning links. So your success manager, if you have a specific set that you would like to see, we can enable those on your organization. And then again, if you have questions about getting that custom link, you can always reach out to your success managers as well. We are happy to get you set up with what you are needing.
Yeah, these are just representative samples. There are a lot of them. So redirect parameterization. So why do you want to do this? You want to do this so that when customers or when your contacts or supporters hit that link, you're passing information down to that form, right? So if you're sending them to your donation page, most donation pages offer some form of link parameterization where you can pass down the first name and address and everything. And then when that contact hits that page, the form is already pre-filled. And there's ample evidence to suggest that the easier you can make it for people to complete your process and complete your form, the more donations, the more signups you're going to get. So this link parameterization on redirect is really super powerful, and it works just out of the box with all the forms, with all the fields that you're importing right alongside in your CSV. We also feature advanced click configuration. So most of the other platforms, if not all of them, they'll track your click, but there's nothing, they don't allow you to configure what happens on that click. So with our stuff, we will post a note to the conversation. You can add and remove people from lists whenever the link is clicked. You can even call an external web API to kick off like a third-party process. In the example that I'll give you today, I'll show you a smart link calling Zapier. If you're not familiar with Zapier, it's a third-party service that enables you to configure a whole bunch of different other stuff to happen. You can add and remove tags, you can set data fields, and you can send and schedule text. So all of these advanced link configurations give you extraordinary power to craft custom experiences for those supporters whenever they click the link, in addition to it being redirected. And you can send, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can also send them from everywhere that you would send a message. So when you log in, once this is all enabled and you have it set up on your organization, you're going to now see a third button at the bottom of your message composition screen. So you have your MMS attachments, your emojis, and now you can insert a smart link. So this can be done in your initial broadcast. So if you're doing a fundraising push, you can send out your direct link to your donation page. You can build it into the library of responses that your texters are relying on for frequently asked questions. So when they click that library response, you're sending out that smart link. And then your texters can also, of their own volition, include that smart link in a conversation where it feels natural. So there's 3 different places that you can use it. And then each composition location is going to be tracked independently. So when you are exporting these metrics, you're going to know how many went through via broadcast, library, or conversation. And you can see how effective those different points of conversation are in converting on those different links you're sending.
Yeah, and we also feature customized preview and image. Now, there is a caveat here. Some of the phones don't support this. Some version of Android that are very old don't support this. For an iPhone, the iPhone has to have the phone number stored as a contact in order for these images to appear, but it is fully supported by the platform. So this is just a bonus. Whenever you get that, whenever a link is delivered, on certain handsets, it will present itself as well as the phone and handset will allow. And of course, every link is tracked in real time. We're even going to track where the links were sent from, whether they were sent from a broadcast, where they were sent from the library or macro action, or whether they were sent by a team member manually. All of those are tracked, and you'll be able to click into those reports and even download the report as a CSV. And we support custom domains. So I think for larger organizations, if you're going to be sending 50, 100,000 texts and you want to be sending links, we would encourage you to get a custom domain. And those can work in one of 2 ways. Either we can work together to find a custom domain that fits your use case, or if if you have a DevOps guy or someone that's familiar with GoDaddy a little bit, we can even help utilize your own domain. So it would be like your organization /L, and we would co-opt that /L and make all the link redirection work through your primary domain. This does not take a lot of work. It's just a couple of hours, for both of our teams, but I think it's worth it if you want really robust link redirection with your own custom domain. You can use ours, of course, if you want, but getting that custom one, I think, is important. Okay, so as you can tell, this is a really important and strong feature. So we're going to go ahead and shift to the demo. I'm going to show you how it all stitches together. All right. Am I good there, Tamila? Yep. Okay.
Looks good. Looks good.
All right. Perfect. So I'm in my demo org here, and I think we'll demonstrate both the smart link and the deliverability check at the same time. And I'm going to do that by creating a new broadcast. So first, I've got a CSV file here, and should be opening. Let's see. Yeah. What's going on? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So I've got a CSV file here. It's just my name, tags, phone number. And then here are the fields that I'm going to use, email and org name. I'm going to use these field names for link parameterization, right? And I want the eventual redirection to go and show those, to pass those fields down to the website or the donation or the support form, as is the case here. So I just wanted to show you this this CSV. Don't save. Okay, and now let's go ahead and create a broadcast. And this is our standard broadcast wizard. I need to import a new list, and I'm just going to drag and drop that CSV, and I'll call this the support demo. Create the list. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now that I've got the list, let's go ahead and create a smart link. So I go to create smart link. I will go create smart link, and then I'm going to give this a name. And this is going to be, for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to be directing people to our support page. Okay. And the base URL here is prompt.io/contact/support. And now if I want to use link parameterization, typically all the link parameterization starts with the question mark here. And as soon as I do question mark, you're going to see the field merge expands. And so now my form is looking for first equals, and I just click, and last equals, and I click, and email equals, and I can find the email field, and org name, and I can find the org name. Okay, so this is going to, on redirect, it's going to take the data that was in the CSV associated with that contact, and it's going to pass it down to the form. And now I can select a domain. So let's just use this donors form. And if I want to, I can provide an additional extension. So this, these generic domains look kind of, can present themselves kind of wonky, but I can say stuff like support, and that's going to add the extension support there, which should help drive conversion. I'm also going to drag and drop a preview image, and I will call this prompt support. So that's how it'll show up. And now I can define the actions that I want to take place. In addition to redirection, what other actions do we want to have happen? So one action that's automatically included is we're going to post a note or a whisper inside of the conversational history. Okay, another action might be we want to add a tag. So let's add the need support tag. And let's also add an action. Let's add them to a list. And we will add them to the support demo or support request list. And then, a little bit more advanced, but what we want to do is I want to show you calling out to an external web service like Zapier. So this is under data actions, execute JavaScript. And all this is in the documentation, but essentially, this is going to call a Zapier webhook. If you're not familiar with this, or this is like glossing over or whatever, don't worry about it. But these third-party services can do some interesting things like update your external CRMs, or I've got this one programmed to send an email to the email address that was associated with this contact, right? So there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with these third-party services like Zapier. But essentially, this smart link is now configured properly. It's going to do the link parameterization. We're going to send them to our support page. We're going to send it on the USA donors domain. We've provided a preview. We've provided all the click actions, and now I just have to save. Okay, and as you can see, I've got 0 clicks for this guy, but now I can utilize this smart link in a broadcast. So let's go back to our broadcast. I'll create a broadcast again, and I'm going to go support. Let's see. Oh,
Support demo.
Support demo. Yeah, sorry, I just got a little lost there. So I've got no one on my support request list currently. Go to my, then I'll go to channels, and I'll select an existing phone number and compose. Okay, and now is the first time that you're going to get a look at the deliverability check as well. You can see this deliverability check is sitting right here, trying to help us figure out that messages are good or bad. So I'll go ahead and post a couple of messages here, and you can see that the use of smart link shorteners is likely to lead to carrier blocking. So this is that bit.ly link is causing the problem. So let's try another one. So here, the word COVID is being carrier filtered right now. There's a lot of phishing campaigns, and so we know that this is going to lead to deliverability issues. And it's also all caps used in words is also one of those signals to carriers to start filtering. So we're also flagging that. Try this one. Yeah, so use of capitals may affect deliverability. Let's try one with an emoji. Okay, so you can see this 2 segments, and you can also see that we're flagging that these are the characters that are requiring the encoding change that results in fewer characters per segment, right? If you were to try some dirty word, you'll see that those are that's like shaft content. You're not gonna be allowed to say that. Alcohol is another one of those shaft words that's gonna lead to a red deliverability warning. There are 23 different things that we're checking for, all as you're typing in real time. And this deliverability check really will help you get your messages out there and avoid carrier filtering wherever possible. Okay, so let's go back to, now that we've shown the broadcast deliverability check, let's go back to our main demo, which is a smart link. And hello, Phil, if you would like customer support, please click. Okay, and now you can see I've got this little smart link icon. I can click on it, support page, insert the smart link, and we're good to go. I always like to have a little return there. I think it just makes things look a little prettier when it's delivered. But I'm all good to go, and you can see I'm all green now, right? I'm all green, so I should be really in great shape for delivery. Continue to delivery. I'll just do this via A2P, but smart links work over A2P or P2P, and I'll confirm the broadcast, and out will go the text. And this is my phone. And indeed, I did get a text. If you'd like support, please click. And I can click here, and you can see the preview and what that looks like on expansion, right? And now when I click that link, the redirect's going to happen. And you can see that it automatically takes and fills in all of the information. I'm not sure what happened with the fill, but maybe that was from my upload. But you can see that the form comes pre-filled with my email and my org name, and that came directly out of the field merge data, right? So when you're sending people to your donation page, this field merge stuff can really help get those messages, can really help customers fill that form out much more quickly than they'd be able to otherwise. Now, in the broadcast itself, we're tracking these link clicks, right? So this is the broadcast metrics page, and I can see that the smart link was clicked, and I can get a list of all the clients. I can also see that the need support tag was added to this contact as a result. And I can see that the smart link was clicked, and I have a timestamp for that click. And as a result of being sent that text, I also got an email through my Zapier integration. We received your support request. So all of that stuff happened as a direct result of that click, and those were configured all in those actions. If I can go back to Smart Links now, I can see that I've got one click, and I can go in and I can view the metrics, and I can see that I've sent one via broadcast, and that broadcast resulted in one click. And I can click and see all those different breakdowns. Now, to take things even further, I can even create a library action that utilizes those smart clicks. So we'll call this support request for the library. Thanks. If you need support, please click here. And again, I'll insert the smart link click. I won't bother adding tags, and I'll save this. So now this library action or macro is going to send a smart link. Now, how would I use that? Well, let's go to the active conversation again. And you know, we've already sent it again, but I'll go ahead and send another one here. And I'll click into the library, and you can see support requests. And if I click there, out will go that new link. And you should see another text come in from my phone here shortly, and indeed it did. As I click this link, again, you'll see the support link clicked manifest. There you go, in real time, and everything's updated, and everything is flowing through and downstream, and I got another email as well. If you're just in a conversation and you don't want to use the library, or the library hasn't been configured for that, you can always send a smart link directly from the conversation. And that will just kick off the link. And again, all these are being tracked in real time. So I've got 2 clicks now. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to edit. I wanted to view the metrics. And you can see that I've sent one via broadcast and one via team member, right? And I can click and I can see all the stats. So these are all the different ways that, these are all the different ways that this stuff, these links can be sent. So, and just a few clicks, you can set up very, very powerful automations on the smart clicks and the smart links. They're super. I'm really proud of the team for being able to deliver not only the table stakes, but also all the raises that we put into this feature. So thank you again for the demo. I'm happy to take any questions.
All right. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop them either in the chat or in Q&A. As of right now, we do not have any questions, but we would love to answer any if anybody has any questions.
I actually have a question. So are these features available for all our current customers, or is there a special group that is going to be?
We'll be releasing this to all customers shortly, with one caveat, and that caveat is that smart links can only be used if you're using 10DLC. They can only be used by registered traffic. We need your traffic to be registered before you can use the smart link feature. The broadcast deliverability check, no problem, but the smart links, we are restricting usage to only registered traffic for right now. As you're aware, this campaign registry and 10DLC stuff is moving. So as your organization gets registered, the smart links will become available. But it is available right now. Your account manager can turn it on. If you're on toll free or you're a short code customer, it's available right now. No restrictions at all. Happy to turn it on for you. And it's I think that both of these new features will really help our customers.
Oh. And for folks who are, have heard about 10DLC, but want to get a little bit more info on, actually, our last webinar was all about compliance and 10DLC. So head over to our blog on prompt.io, and you can read a little bit about the 10DLC regulations. Are there any updates about 10DLC?
Yeah, so Campaign Registry was supposed to provide a pathway for political organizations to get registered, and they were supposed to provide that on August 12th. They launched it, but it's buggy, and still have not been able to successfully get through the entire flow, including Campaign Verify yet. So I think it'll be another couple of days. They are providing manual workarounds right now, but it's not as automated or as quick as we'd like it to be. Yeah, I think also in the last NDLC webinar, we stated that we believe that the drop dead date for unregistered traffic to be heavily filtered would be around October 1st or the first week in October, and it looks to be October 1st. More information has come down that it really is that early October date that is important. So I think we got one more slide. We want to show you what's coming next. So here in our documentation, which is available on the website, there is full documentation for both features, including here the exact instructions on how to do link parameter replacement for both WinRed and ActBlue. If you have a custom CRM or a custom donation page that you want to see if it works, and you need help with it, just let us know. We'd be happy to see if link parameterization is supported, and then help you craft those links. But both of these documentations are now live on the site. And coming next, we are revamping analytics and providing really awesome dashboards. So you'll have to stick around for our next product release, which should be available sometime in early November or in late November, as the case may be. But we're really excited and working feverishly to get all these analytics done too. So should be another great release, and we look forward to walking you through that in a couple of months' time.
Thank you so much. All right, another virtual applause for Phil and Brenna. Thanks so much for a really in-depth, highly technical product release demo. Expect more of this from us. And if you missed it or you want to share this with a colleague, we will be having a recap blog post with recordings and slides. Again, thanks you everyone. If you have any questions about product, reach out to Phil at phil@prompt.io. For support questions, reach out to support@prompt.io. If you have any marketing related questions, or if you want to partner on case studies or future webinars, we love hosting our customers with webinars. Please email me, Tamila@prompt.io, and that's 2 L's. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Appreciate everyone coming.
Bye, everyone.